Welcome to the Franchise Time Machine. We've got actually during our stream last night, we had someone come in and let us know the sad news that Rickey Henderson had passed away. I think it was still kind of unconfirmed at the time, but seemed pretty likely to be true. And it was confirmed today. So I think, on one of those players, it's a sad day for everyone who likes baseball. Um, and when we lose someone like that, one of the things I like to do is do a tribute stream, tribute simulation, where we celebrate their career by bringing a bunch of versions of them into a season. Um, Max, Max LP80, thank you for the raid. Appreciate you coming back online tonight, Max, so that we could all get our Max specific PTMS drops. So thank you for doing that for everybody. Can you poo poo in the chat? Good to see you. So Raiders, I was just going over what we'll be doing tonight. It's a oh, also let me say happy birthday to Max. I actually wasn't sure if you were kidding or not earlier today when you said it was your birthday, but when I saw you had a birthday stream too, I figured it must be actually your birthday. So happy birthday! You don't look a day over 60, so congratulations. Um, so yeah, during 44th birthday, excellent. That's your was Eric Davis 44? It's your Eric Davis birthday? Yeah, Eric Davis birthday's cool. That's true. Fox still says no one fakes having a birthday this week right around Christmas time. That's true. So, yeah, so last night in our stream, we had someone let us know that they had been hearing that Rickey Henderson had passed away. No one had been confirming it yet by the time I went to bed. But when I woke up today, multiple outlets were confirming it. The sad news that Rickey Henderson had passed away. And on our stream, when something like that happens, I like to pay tribute to that player by highlighting their career, bringing the peak versions of them into a simulation. And I thought a lot today about how to do that. Like, he had such a long career. I could have done a full lineup of all Rickeys. But when we do that, I have to mess around a lot in editor to make a shortstop Rickey Henderson and a second baseman Rickey Henderson, first base, third base, catcher. And I thought one of the simulations I liked the best was when after Willie Mays passed away, I brought 4 peak versions of Willie Mays into 2023, and we did a sim. And I actually thought that was pretty great. So we're going to take 4 peak Rickey Hendersons, left center, right field, and DH. And then I'm going to use Baseball Savant, which is a site a lot of us were using when chemistry first was announced to find out, um, what players had played with other players the most. So I'm sorry, I wonder if it's my volume. Um, yeah, so Rickey will be playing all the outfield positions and DH. And for the pitchers, I found this great list of the pitchers that he's faced the most times. There's 5 of them, and we'll bring like the top versions of those pitchers to be his pitching staff. So the infield and the catchers will be the teammates who played with him the most seasons. The pitching staff will be pitchers who faced him the most, and then the outfield and DH will be all Rickey Hendersons. And we'll do a 10-pack giveaway based on guessing how this team's going to do. We'll bring them into 2023. And I know you guys that Mets legend Rickey Henderson did play for the Mets. So we are going to bring him onto the 2023 Mets. So I think let's start with the 10-pack giveaway form. Let me get that started and then I'll put it up on the screen. I like to do that first because I'll pin it to the chat. If anyone has to go to bed or anything, you can still submit a form. You'll have a chance to win. You do not have to be present to win. We'll get you your forms. You'll have to go to bed soon. Okay, Max, we'll try to get the form up soon enough so that you can submit one before you go to bed. And I don't know if you guys are all tapped out on talking about Rickey Henderson today. I know he's been a topic of a lot of conversation, but he's to me he's one of those players who I started liking baseball when I started playing. Like we played stickball in my neighborhood. And we played a lot of wiffle ball, and then I started playing organized baseball. So I already like baseball, but there are a handful of players, and Rickey Henderson was one of them, that made me really love the game. And they made me love the game by the way they played. And like he was one of those guys. And you listen to his interviews, and yes, Georgia Tech legend franchise time machine. Thank you, thank you, Kitty. Maxil says, at least in the '90s when I watched ads. Oh, were there ads rolling? Oh, so I don't know how much or what anyone missed, but I was just saying that Rickey Henderson is one of those players that made me love the game of baseball even more. By the way he played the game, by the way he, I don't know. I think he rubbed some people the wrong way, but I always felt like his interviews and stuff. I mean, yes, they reflected a passion for himself, but I also think they reflected a certain passion for the game. And it's not the same passion for the game that everyone shows, but like who cares? Like everyone, reflects the game differently. And I really like the way he reflected the game. And so um yeah, for me um, you know, he did play for the Mets very briefly, but like I think like everybody I associate him mostly with his time with the Athletics, a little bit with his time with the Yankees, but it wouldn't have mattered to me if he had never played for the Mets. I I love watching him play the game, and yes, Fox Hill. Just what I was about to say. I love the way Rickey talked about Rickey. So yeah, this will be. I'm hoping this will be a fun thing to do, and as always, when we do this, I really like that it tends to highlight how great the player it was. All right, let me get this started, and then I'll put it up. Okay, I'll as usual, I'll update the form as we chat, and then I'll pin it to the chat. Barry Basher says Max babbled about basketball. I dozed off, and it was all enough for me to get all of Max's drops today. All right, Barry Basher, have a good night. If you can stay up about 10 more minutes longer, you can fill out a pat giveaway form. All right. In tonight's tribute stream, we'll be paying tribute to Rickey Henderson, who passed away yesterday. To celebrate his career, including his time with the New York Mets, we will bring 4 peak Rickey Hendersons to the 2023 New York Mets. His pitching staff will be versions of the 5 pitchers he faced the most. In fact, let me put their names in so you'll have an idea of who's going to be on this team. Let me pull that back up. Oh, that's the wrong file. Sorry. Oh, maybe I already have it open. Oh, yeah, I already have it open. Sorry about that. So, cool stat I learned while researching this stream, and I mentioned it, I think, in EVC's or Doc stream. At the time he retired, Rickey had faced 19% of all major league pitchers who had ever pitched during the modern era. Modern era starts in 1901. And if you're like, okay, well, forget modern era, he had, at the time he retired in 2003, he had faced 17% of all major league pitchers ever. So every pitcher, any pitcher who had ever picked up a ball and thrown an official pitch in a Major League Baseball game, going back to the start of Major League Baseball, Rickey Henderson faced 17% of them during his career. 1 in 6. That's pretty amazing. So the pitchers that are going to be on his pitching staff will be the peak versions of, and I'll say that we'll say peak versions. Frank Tanana, Jack Morris, Jimmy Key, Charlie Huff, and I hope Laptop Hound will be happy, Dave Steeb. The rest of the roster will be the players with whom he played the most seasons as position needs allow. So, for example, we might have to go the players he played with the most, he played 7 seasons. But we might have to grab a catcher he played 4 seasons with, right? Because there might not be enough catchers to go around. Foxhill didn't want to mistakenly guess Jack because you're already such a Minnesota rube. That's funny. Hey, Flying WV, I'm getting the form ready for the 10-pack giveaway uh for the Rickey Henderson tribute tonight. Now, I don't know the names of the players yet, so I can't put them in here. So I apologize for those of you who have to run early. But we will look that up and look up their profiles and their player IDs before we start the sim. So again, OTP login ID is case sensitive, so please be careful about that. So it's the typical questions for when we put a team together like this. Will this team make the playoffs? I'm using a creator roster form because I do think this team will be as good as our best creator roster teams. Will this team make it to the World Series? Will it win the World Series? Let's change this question. It will be, will a Rickey Henderson win an MVP award? Hey, Kakin Santa. We're doing the 10 pack giveaway form for a Rickey Henderson tribute stream tonight. And then, you know what? I will ask a Cy Young question. Will a pitcher from this team, one of the 5 pitchers who faced Rickey the most, win a Cy Young award? Oh, 5DV, congratulations on the Chris Sale poll. Nice job. Okay, how many regular season games will this team win? What will be the highest WAR generated by any of these teams' players? All right, before the home run question, we're going to add a Rickey specific question in here. I think you know what it's going to be. What will be the number of regular season stolen bases by the player who leads his team in stolen bases? Let's just say the Rickey. We know it's going to be one of the Rickeys. What will be the number of regular season home runs hit by the player who leads his team? No, you know what? The number of regular season home runs hit by the Rickey who hits the most home runs. As you know, he was a dual threat leadoff hitter, stealing bases but also hitting for power. Well, the problem is there's 4 Rickey Hendersons, but only one leadoff spot. So I'm not going to ask any leadoff questions because there's not enough leadoff spots to go around. And it's not the Rickey who leads the team; it's the Rickey who steals the most bases. I'm assuming he'll lead the team, but yeah, no, Booster, it's a good suggestion. It's just I think that might back us into a corner a little bit. So I'm going to try to keep them a little open ended. Okay. We still will ask our regular questions about strikeouts, OPS, ERA. Those are good kind of tiebreaker questions. But I think we have some good Rickey questions here. Clay Dog says we can solve this problem, just create more teams of Rickeys. Bam, move more leadoff spots for Rickeys. I did think about doing a stream where like every team got a Rickey, and so every team had a Rickey leading off. But I think it's more fun when we have them all on the same team. Okay, I think we're good. We can publish this. Hopefully, it's in time for Barry Basher to fill one out before he has to go. Okay, it's published. Let me put the link in the chat. Yeah, like the Chase Utleys earlier in the cycle. Link to form for tonight's 10 pack giveaway. All right, good luck, everybody. I know most of you will want to wait to see what it looks like after we add all these players, so that's fine. Let me put the title slide back up for a second while I switch over to a roster building form here. Actually, you know what? Let's pull up BREF. Okay. Um, I don't know how this happened, but for whatever reason, um, my browser always comes back to this page in BREF when I was researching the Willie Mays stream. I mean, I like that it comes back to this page every time. I just wonder why it never comes back to a page I've looked at since then. Oh, you know what? The modifiers thing might be wrong. Enron, I'll explain that in a second, but hold on, everybody. Don't fill out your form yet. I might have made a mistake. We are turning the modifiers off. Uh, I'm glad you asked that question, Enron, because I think it means I might have made a mistake. Okay, let me correct this first. Let me unpin the form. Thank you to Enron for pointing that out. I will correct it and then I will explain to you what it means. Oh no, actually, it is correct. I can put the pin back up. You don't have to. If you've already submitted, you don't have to resubmit. Everything is okay. I misunderstood the question, and then let me explain the answer to Enron real quickly because others may have the same question. Okay, same link. If you've already submitted, it's fine. It was my mistake. Okay, so what that means is there is a section of the game, and I will show that to you after we get started here. Um, the way the game recreates eras is it sets these modifiers to things like home runs, doubles, strikeouts, whatever. And it tries to adjust them to look more like the year that you're trying to simulate. So if you're trying to play dead ball, like let's say 1910, the modifier for home runs will be very low because it's going to try to make everyone hit fewer home runs. The modifier for like stolen bases and triples will be higher because back then they hit more triples and doubles, stolen bases than they do now. Now, if you leave them on completely, it's great because it recreates the era. But if you leave them on and you bring a bunch of, let's say, Rickey Henderson type players who are top notch base stealers, it's not going to let Rickey Henderson steal bases like Rickey Henderson because then it'll bring too many stolen bases into the simulation. What we wanted to do is say you can you can modify for the era, that's fine, but that's it. If I bring in a bunch of Babe Ruths, let them hit more home runs. If I bring in a bunch of Rickey Hendersons, let them steal more stolen bases. Don't try to adjust them to the era. Like, I mean, they'll still be adjusted to the era, but don't readjust even further. If you don't turn the modifiers off and bring in all Babe Ruths into a league, all those Babe Ruths will hit 25 to 30 home runs instead of 50 to 70. So that's what I mean. When we turn that off, we want to let Babe Ruth hit like Babe Ruth. In this case, we want to let Rickey Henderson run like Rickey Henderson. So it just means that the game engine won't um, try to reduce the number of bases the Rickey steal because it would be adding too many stolen bases to 2023. There are times where we leave the modifiers on because we do want to recreate that kind of adjustment. But in a sim like this, we want to let Rickey Henderson shine. And also, we're probably going to bring in some really good pitchers. Like these pitchers we named, their peak seasons are going to be fantastic. Well, we want them to pitch like their peak versions. We don't want the game to say, oh, these 12 pitchers are going to be way too good. We need to nerf them and make them weaker so they don't ruin the stats for the entire simulation. So we're just going to let everyone be as good as they can be. So that's what that means. Okay, so I want to find the peak Rickeys last. I think that's like the cherry on top. So I would like to populate the rest of the roster first. And I think the pitching staff is the easiest part to do because we know the five pitchers. We're just going to find the best seasons they had. And for Frank Tanana in particular, and we've talked about this, Forrest talked about this. Frank Tanana, I grew up knowing him as a crafty lefty, right? He was like the dictionary photo for a crafty lefty. And in fact, he ended his career with the well, I forgot he went to the Yankees after, but he pitched for the Mets. By then he was no longer even crafty enough to be effective. But, I knew he came from Detroit where he had been effective for a long time as a, pretty soft throwing but deceptive left-handed pitcher. But it was when I started playing OTP that I learned when he came up with California, he was a flamethrower. Led the majors in strikeouts per nine one season, 269. The next season, 261, 8.1 strikeouts per nine. And so, we can pick two versions of Frank Tanana. I'm wondering if we take one from when he was a flamethrower and maybe one from when he was more of a finesse pitcher. Yeah, Booster, he did. He had a big arm, which I did not know until I started, digging into more historical simulations and stuff. So I do like this 1975 version. It's arguable that the 1976 version is even better. He got even MVP votes. He finished one place higher in the Cy Young voting. As a For a simulation, I would much rather go with the league leader in WHIP than the league leader in strikeouts per nine. So, but you still get that flavor of the flamethrower with the 8.1 strikeouts per nine. So we're going to take the 1977 Frank Tanana. His player ID, one of the reasons that we use baseball reference is that the baseball reference player ID is the same as the OOTP reference ID. So if you look up in the URL, that's his player ID. It's TANAFR01. And we're taking 1977. Now we'll take two versions of him. We'll take two versions of all five, and then we'll decide who we're going to triple up on. Yeah, Jeff the Jar, 268 innings at age 20. I mean, I think Fernando Valenzuela is even more extreme, but yeah, that's a ton of innings. I think in that year, though, there were pitchers throwing 300 innings, so they probably did think they were taking it easy on him. Now, I would like to take one from the later era when he's more of the finesse pitcher. Let's see. Maybe we'll start with what's the best whip we can find. I saw this 12.01, but that's part of a combined season that adds up to 12.88. Yeah, the shortened season 83. I wonder if that's injury related with a 1.211. Here's the 15-10 season. He had a 109 ERA plus. Not great, but not bad. This is probably a bullpen version of Tanana. Yeah, let's take this one. 15-10, 19. It's a decade apart. We have a 77 Tanana and a 87 Tanana. I kind of like the symmetry of that. All right, the next pitcher on the list is Jack Morris. I thought for Morris, maybe um we'd take a Detroit Morris, and then well, we could go Minnesota or Toronto, I guess. All right, let's take a Detroit Morris first. Let's see. I know the strike short in 81 has a good one. This eight the 80 there it is, the 81, 14-7, led the majors in wins in the strike shortened season there. This 83 is pretty good, led the majors in innings pitched and had a 1.158 whip, a 117 ERA plus, 120 games for the first time. His peak win total, and besides what he did in 92, was his 86 season, fifth in Cy Young voting. I actually like this season quite a bit. It's one of his highest ERA pluses. It's one of his lowest whips. It's one of his strikeouts per nine. So we'll take the 86 Tigers Morris, and then we'll choose between his Twins and Toronto Morrises. So you notice for Jack Morris, he's an 0-2, right? His player ID is MORRIJA02. That means someone else had that letter combination before him. So the letter combination is the first five letters of the last name and the first two of the first name. And then that 01 or a higher number of people have already had that combination before. All right, now let's look at post Detroit. Okay, this twin season, really good, 125 ERA plus. This Toronto season, another 21 game winner, but I will say his ERA plus is only 101. His whip is actually a little better, uh, but his strikeouts per nine are down. Take the ERA plus over the whip, I think. Let's go 91 Morris. No, Fox Hill. Yeah. Well, I don't have to throw you a bone. I chose 91 Morris. I think it's legit to go ERA plus over whip. If we had whip plus, I wish they did. I would go whip plus, but ERA plus is fine. And also, whip is incomplete, right? Because you can have a good whip, give up a bunch of home runs. Okay, next up, Jimmy Key. I think a very underrated pitcher of the era, especially his Toronto work. I think he got more attention once he went to the Yankees, but um, man, he was so good for so long with the Blue Jays. All right, this is tough. He had lots of good seasons with the Blue Jays, and then we'll take one from the Yankees. This one stands out, of course. He was second in Cy Young voting. I think it's a no-brainer to grab this one. A 164 ERA plus is insane. Led the majors in WHIP and hits per nine. Well, I think we're going to take 87 Jimmy Key. And I was going to say we might have to double up on the Blue Jays if he didn't have a decent Yankee season because he was traded later in his career, but he did have some good seasons here. So the strike season 94, strike shortened 94 season, leads the majors in wins, leads the league in home runs per nine, 140 ERA plus. Now, the thing is, I normally don't like to take shortened seasons, so the neighbor 1993 is probably just as good, if not better. The ERA is plus is almost as good, but the WHIP is 0.2526 lower. So we'll take this 93 key. So we have a Blue Jays key and a Yankees key. Okay, next up is Charlie Huff. I'm thinking he's just basically going to be an innings eater, but he had such a long career, we might find gems in there. Yeah, Foxville 17 wins in 25 games started that season. Yeah, that run support must have been insane. That's true. All right, so this will be a fun. So the other thing is, with a lot of pitchers, we can use, all-star appearances or MVP votes or Cy Young position to as a shortcut to find their best seasons. But a guy like Charlie Huff just pitched for a long time, was consistently pretty good, especially later in his career. Right, it's hard to find those peak seasons. Um, I don't even know that we end up getting a Dodgers season. This was pretty good, I guess, in '76, went 12-8, 153 ERA plus. Um, Here's his lone All-Star appearance, '86. He went 17-10, 114 ERA plus, 1.203 WHIP. The season before is actually better, both in terms of WHIP and ERA plus. He went 14-16. It sounds like a run support issue there. So let's take that 85, Charlie Huff. The real nice thing too about this pitching staff that happens to be the pitchers that pitch against him the most is with Jimmy Keane and Frank Tanana, we have some good right-left combinations, so we don't have to worry about having enough left-handers on the staff. Now with Huff, we may end up doubling up on his Rangers tenure. Um, by the time he goes to the White Sox, he's already 43. He's had the best stats of his career behind him. That's what I was hoping. Maybe we can find something with the Dodgers, but here's this. Well, he had a 153 ERA plus season with the Dodgers. Maybe we'll take that one. Yeah, let's take the 76 Huff. Yeah, Foxville. That's why I think most people now have come to accept that win-loss record is not really a great metric for judging a pitcher. I mean, it's a team statistic. There's so much out of the pitcher's control, especially like the run support and the bullpen that comes after. All right, now Dave Steve, you know, don't tell Lap I said this, but I think Dave Steve was an amazing pitcher. We're definitely taking three Steves because we have five pitchers. We're going to take two each. That's 10 pitchers. We need 12. So we're going to, for two of them, we're going to double up. And Steve really is one of those guys that when you look back in his era with modern stats, like he really jumps out as as a dominant pitcher. Like 171 ERA plus, insane. 7 hits per nine. We're definitely taking this 85 Steve. Yeah, Foxwell saying a 500 pitcher on the White Sox this season. Garrett Crochet went 6-12. Right? There's no way he's a 333 pitcher. My favorite though is what's that season where Steve? Well, let's look it up. As long as we're in BREF, there's a season where Steve Carlton he won like half the team's wins. It might have been 72. How are the Phillies in 72? Yeah, they won 59 games. The Phillies were 59 and 97, and he went 27 and 10. One dude won half their games. That's my favorite season to bring up. When yeah, Blooster, you're spot on with 27 and 10. 59 wins as a team. One dude won 27 games. The other thing that's crazy, he did win the Cy Young Award. The other one that's crazy, his ERA was less than two. His ERA plus was a 182, and he lost 10 games because his team sucks so bad. Right? This isn't a guy pitching. This isn't Bob Gibson in 68 where everyone's ERA was low. His ERA plus was a legit 182. He's 82% better than the average league average ERA, and he still lost 10 games. Yeah, 12.1 WAR from a pitcher is crazy. The only other pitcher off the top of my head that I know had a higher WAR was Dwight Gooden had a 12.4 WAR at his peak. So yeah, when Foxfield talks about Garrett Crochet, I always think of Steve Carlton in that 72 season, winning almost half your team's games. All right, so we've got the 85 Steve in our back pocket. Let's see who else we want to grab. Okay, of course, 146 ERA plus jumps out too. That's also going to be led the majors in innings, led the majors in hit by pitches, which is kind of cool. Led the majors in ERA plus, and led the league in hits per nine. So we'll take an 84, Steve. Right, he didn't lead the league in wins, but who cares? Right, in hindsight, we know that's kind of a flawed stat. It's a team stat, so we'll take 1984. And we need 12 pitchers, so we'll take another Steve, and then probably we'll take another Tanan or a Key, so we can have another lefty. Do we end up taking a 3-year run of Steves here? Do we take the 83? All three of those seasons have sub 1.2 whip. Yeah, let's do it. Let's take the 83. We'll take three consecutive Steves. And then let's go back to, um, I think it's going to end up being Jimmy Key. We're just loving the Blue Jays here. It's a Rickey Henderson tribute, but we're showing a lot of love to the Blue Jays here. You know what? We did look at these consecutive seasons with the 140 and 139 ERA pluses. The other thing we can do is we can reach way back to his it wasn't his rookie season because I think he qualified as a rookie in 84. But his first season as a starter, 141 ERA plus 1.119 whip and an all-star. So let's do that. We've got two starting pitchers from the 85 Blue Jays on this team. All right, so there's our pitching staff. Let me show you what that looks like right now. Okay. So the reason I have the spreadsheet set up in this way is we're going to create a text file out of this where we take player ID, year, and the destination. I always make the destination FTN for franchise. Change what team we're importing this into. We don't have to change this form. We'll just change the team's abbreviation to FTM, even if it's temporarily, and do the import. Okay. Now the next thing we have to do is get his fellow infielders or get his infielders because the four Rickeys we're going to import are going to play all the outfield spots and DH. But we need catchers, we need infielders. So for that, we're going to use. So we're gonna. So let's figure out what positions we need. We need two catchers. We'll need first base, second base, third base, shortstop, left field. No, we don't need left field because that's Rickey. You know what? We can take six Rickeys. We're going to take six Rickeys because the backup, I don't know, is Rick. What Rickey's going to be willing to be a backup on this team? All right, let's figure this out. Let me zoom this out a little bit here. Okay, we need a Rickey. 1, 2, 3, 4. We know we need those. Those are the three outfield spots in the DH. I actually think we can take two more backup Rickeys. So then we probably want middle infielder and corner infielder, right? Or do we want one more middle infielder and have because we can have five Rickeys over four positions. Is that enough? I think six Rickeys will be good. Let's see where we land. All right, now to find out who, um, oh, where is my baseball savant? Hold on, I have to find a. Oh, was that not in? Maybe it was over here. Hold on a second. I've got to be able to find this. Okay, I found it. Let me figure out how to best share this with you guys. OBS didn't want to do this. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, this is from baseballsavant.com. It was on EVC stream. He knew where to find this. I had forgotten the name of the site. We use this a lot in the early days of OTP 24 when we learned about the chemistry. That it really by um, what teams did a player, how many seasons did players have in common. So we can write here, we're going to grab Terry Steinbach, 7 seasons. So he's definitely one of our catchers. And we could take 2 Steinbachs. That's all. That's always an option. Also, most played with is Mark McGuire. He'll definitely be our first baseman. Mike Bordick, he'll be one of our infielders. I think he played shortstop and third. Actually, he might have played a bunch of positions, but we know we'll need a shortstop, so I'll put him there for now. Dennis Eckersley is the other one who played 7 seasons, but we have a pitching staff already. Dwayne Murphy is great, but we don't need an outfielder. Rigetti, we already have a pitching staff. Mike Norris, we have pitchers. I don't know does anyone know Steve McCaddy? Is he a position player? See, this is what I like. I always learn something new doing stuff like this. I'm looking up Steve McCaddy and BREF. Steve McCaddy. Oh man, my computer is not liking all these windows being open right now. Yeah, he was a pitcher, so we don't need Steve McCaddy. Blue Star, thank you for that. Honeycutt's a pitcher. Mike Heath. Is Mike Heath a catcher? I, am I thinking of someone else? I kind of think Mike Heath was a catcher. He is a catcher and an outfielder. All right, he could be our top catcher. 6 seasons with Rickey. Now, I did think about do we want to take Like with Terry Summick, we only take a season where he was on the team with Rickey. But I think we'll still take their peak versions. I think that'll be fine. It'll be more fun that way. Oh man, my my laptop is not liking this. All right, I want to ask you all for a favor. I want to put this link to this baseball savant. Um, I think this is what's causing my audio to cut out and slowing down my system. My computer does not like this site. So I'm going to close that. I put the link in the chat. If someone else can open that for me, or you know what, I can open it in my alt account here. Oh yeah, that's actually working okay. I've got it open in my alt account too. Oh, Carney Lansford, third baseman. He played 6 seasons. Oh, you're seeing my you're seeing my Twitch. Let me put BREF back up. But here's the spreadsheet. Where's my BREF? Okay, I can already hear that my audio sounds better since I closed that. Okay, so there's Mike Heath. We're gonna add Carney Lansford. Okay. We're looking for a second baseman. Oh, Willie Randolph. 5 seasons with Willie Randolph. Perfect. But also that link, feel free to use that for other teammate combinations. It's a pretty fun thing to look into. I can see why there was why Marcus might have wanted to do chemistry. It is such a fun thing to look into, like who played the most seasons with these players. But um, oh, we need some defensive flexibility. I see Lance Blankenship on the list with 5 years. I know he's a bit of a utility guy. Pretty short career, but look at all these positions he gives us. Right, second base, third base, a little bit of center, left and right, a little bit of second base. Wow, Bluster, that is an awesome fact. Bob Boone was the only catcher to throw Rickey out twice in the same game, and it was done in a 3 week set. So he threw him out twice in the same game, and he did it twice, out 4 times over 2 games. That's amazing. Now, Lance Blankenship, I'm actually looking up Ibira, so I'll take his player ID right now. Blank LAO2. And let's see what season we might want to take. Man, I feel like I never should have opened that link on this laptop because it's really crushing my processing speed here. Twice in one game, then twice in another game 3 weeks later. That's amazing. We don't want advanced batting. We want regular batting. There we go. Value batting, standard batting. Okay. We'll take this 1991 Blankenship. Well, actually, this one has a better OPS. We'll take this 1992 Blankenship. Now, while we're here, let me double check what positions Mike Bordick played. I'm pretty sure he played a good bit of shortstop. Yep, shortstop and second baseman, it says. Um, what am I? Bordy am I? Bordi am I? Oh, one. Okay, what season for Mike Bordick? Ideally, one of the Oakland ones, because that's when he was probably playing with Rickey. Oh, you got some MVP votes in 92. He had 300. Yeah, let's take that one. 92. Okay, as long as we're in here, let's look up Carney Lansford. I know he played third base. Yeah, you guys can probably see how much slower my computer's processing now. Hopefully, we can make it through the sim. All right. Not the Red Sox years. Let's go to the Athletics years. I'd like to grab this. I don't know if we're saying we don't. We're not going to limit ourselves to when. Although we could just take this 89. He had 336 that year too. The OPS is a little lower, but we'll take that 89 Lansford. Okay, Willie Randolph. This is from Rickey's time with the Yankees. Also, Mets legend Willie Randolph. Okay, lots of seasons to choose from here. Lots of quality too. MVP votes are usually a pretty good sign. This 834 OPS season in 1980 is pretty crazy. He led the majors in walks with 119. So we'll take this 1980 Willie Randolph. Mark McGuire. For the most part, we have been sticking with seasons where the players most likely played with Rickey. So I kind of like to keep that going now that we've gotten this far into the roster. This rookie campaign is pretty good. Although I think in 87, Rickey was still with the Yankees, I think. Was Rickey still there in 96? I mean, at least McGuire's was still with the A's. So let's take that 96 McGuire. We won't venture into the Cardinals because I know he didn't play with Rickey in St. Louis. So, and then our backup catcher is Mike Heath, who played. I think he was one of the 6 season guys or a 5 season guy. But I guess this was his first stint with Oakland. They would have overlapped then. So we're not going to find a gem of a season here. He's our backup catcher. Because 85, I think Ricky's probably in New York. So we'll go. I mean, 83, I think Ricky's in New York, but we'll take this 83. At least it's Oakland. All right. And then Terry Steinbach. This should be fun. And then we have to pick a couple more, couple utility guys. Oh, you know what? I don't think we can have utility guys without having Tony Phillips, right? Why is he not in this diagram? Maybe he is. Maybe he's like one ring further out. So which style? Oh, let me. So his last season in Oakland was also his highest OPS for a full season, 871. So we'll take the 96 Steinbach. All right, and then let's look up Tony Phillips. He may have been in Oakland at the wrong time. Or no, maybe I'm not thinking of Tony Phillips. Maybe I'm thinking of Mike Gallego. Let me look at this. Yeah, Mike Gallego's on here. He probably will get us the positions. Yeah, Mike Gallego. Did you play first? We need a backup first baseman because I don't think any of these. Oh, Mike Heath might have played first base. Carney Lansford might have played first. I think first base we might be safe. So let's go Mike Gallego. I'll stay away from the Yankees Gallegos, and we'll go with this 1991 Gallego. Now, one of the settings we're going to have to use when we import these guys is use their career fielding so that we get all these positions. You can choose career or I think 3 year period or the imported year. And we're going to use careers to give us the most flexibility. All right, now it's time to pick our 6 Rickeys. Let's see what we got. This should be fun. Oh yeah, look at all these. Look at all this black ink. Leading the majors, leading the league in stolen bases. Also caught stealing. Also walks. WAR. Okay, well we definitely need the MVP season. That's 1990 Rickey. We're definitely gonna take that one. Wow, I'm surprised he's Hendi. So it's Hender, but the R is from the Rickey. So it's Hendri01. I'm surprised no one else was a Hendri before him. So the 1990 is the first one we're going to grab. MVP season, an all-time great season. All right. Next up. Well, I mean, MVP votes are a pretty good trail of breadcrumbs to follow. The first time getting MVP was in 1980. He had 303, 820 OPS, 100 stolen bases. Now, he only had 9 home runs that season. The power would come later, but let's take the 1980. We can always drop it if we want to, but I kind of like getting a really broad spectrum of his career. Now, let's go late career. What's the best late career Rickey we can grab? Well, of course, I'm biased to the Mets season, but it was not good. But it was not terrible. His OPS is 889. He did steal 37 bases against 14 caught stealing. And we do need some backup Rickeys. So I think this 1999 Rickey, I'm a little biased. It's got the Mets in it, but I think it's a good backup Rickey. Maybe at 40, he's willing to sit behind some other Rickeys. I don't know. So let's go now to peak stolen base Rickey. That's 1982. Now he was also caught 42 times, but he stole 130 bases. The problem with this season, though, is he's down on batting average and OPS, but he led the majors in walks with 116. So we'll take the 1982 Rickey. All right. Now, other than the MVP season, what was his peak OPS season? There's a 1023 and 93. Oh, that's split across 2 teams. The total is 906. This this 85 is really good. 934 OPS. He also had 28 bombs the next season with an 827 OPS. This 85 was also his highest run total. He scored 146 runs, which is insane. So we'll take the 1985 Rickey. We have one more Rickey we can take. This 87 Rickey has a 920 OPS. Now, this is one of his best Cost stealing ratio is 41 and 8. In 88, he goes 93 and 13. And then you got a 108 and 19 here in the 83. The split season with Toronto's interesting. He has a 906 OPS, combined 53 steals against only 8 caught stealing. Another one of his best ratios. I don't know. This final Rickey is a hard one. There's so many good seasons to pick from. Okay, so which season have we got? We've got 80. We've got 82. No, we don't have 82 yet. Yes, we do. We have 82. Oh shoot! I clicked on his name by mistake. All right, we've got 80, 82. No. I didn't mean to click all of them. Come on. Ugh. 81. How do why is it not? Okay, this is a pain. I'm not doing this. We got 80, 82. We didn't take 83, which is a 108 and 19 season. Actually, you could. I took 82 because that was his highest total base number, but it's also his highest caught stealing number. His 83 is actually his best stealing season, I would say. So maybe we replace 82 with 83. All right, we don't go by volume, we go by ratios. Oh my goodness, my computer is so frozen right now. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're taking. All right, so we took 80. We took 83. The next one we took is 85. Then we jump ahead to 90. Now that means we skipped his of his 3 highest wars, we skipped 89, which had his 3rd highest war. Wow, 126 walks. Led the majors in stolen bases. Okay, let's take this 89. All right, and we did take this 99, partly so we can have a Met, but also we do need a backup Rickey, and so we're gonna ask that 1999 Rickey to take a back seat. Okay, I think we have a roster. This is what it looks like. Right, and the idea is that the Rickeys are going to take up all the outfield spots, including backup outfield and DH. Now, what we do with this is, let me start closing some windows. Going to close BREF. This is an effort to not have my laptop crash. Okay. Hopefully those will help. All right, now let me show you what we do with this. Oh, wait, you know what? I'm showing you the thing, but you can't see part of it. Okay, this is what it looks like now. And now I'm about to show you why I set that spreadsheet up in that particular way. We're going to create a notepad file. It could be any file, any program that generates a TXT or text file. That's what we need to feed into OOTP when we do this roster import. I use Notepad. It came with the laptop. It's easy to use. It doesn't put a lot of burden on my laptop. All right, here's an example. Okay, so when the Yankees played the Dodgers in the World Series, one of the things I did was I made a team of all the best Yankees from the Yankee Dodgers World Series seasons and all the best Dodgers from the Yankees Dodgers World Series seasons. And we played them against each other. This is what part of that roster looks like. Player ID, comma, the year you want to pull in, comma, and then the destination, a 3 or 4 letter abbreviation for where you want to send them in the base game. So we're going to create one just like that for this team. Okay, we got a blank one. And this is why the spreadsheet's set up this way. Those 3 columns are right next to each other. So I'm going to highlight and copy them. And I'll paste them into that notepad file. And now all I have to do is replace these tabs with commas. That's a little bit tedious, but it's worth it. It saves so much time on the import that it's way worth it. And then we eliminate the tab between the year and the destination, also replace with a comma. Oops. All right, so that's the file we need. Now we just need to save it. Then we'll save it as Rickey Henderson tribute roster. Okay. So then you'll see that again in the base game when we pull it in. So now that the roster is built, let me run a quick ad roll. I need to refresh my water and stuff. I'll see you all in a few minutes. Looks like we might be back from ads. Sorry if I sound a little rough. I just had a bit of a coughing fit. I'm still getting over a cold. All right, Bluester. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you got your pack giveaway form in. So if that you win, we can get you your forms. I mean, get you your packs, not get you your forms. All right, I'm getting the base game open here, and then I'll show you how to import this form import this roster we just made, and we'll get to playing the sim. All right, so here we go. Here's the game. We're going to open up the base game. We're going to create a new game. It is historical. We're going to be playing in the 2023 run environment. I like to use the most recent complete season. So when OOTP 25 comes out and has 2024 data, we'll use the 24 run environment. Okay, we're going to name this Rickey Henderson. Yeah, this is from a Nolan played a game recently. I use Mochi Mitsushi as my manager name whenever I play base game. And I'm Japanese, so our manager's Japanese. So we commissioner mode, cannot be fired. Oh, Ripley raiding in. Thank you for the raid, Ripley. Let me show you the raiders what we're working on tonight. We're doing a Rickey Henderson tribute simulation. So we want to honor his career, given that it was announced today that he passed away. Well, we're now into. Oh no, it's still Saturday. So it was you won the worst World Series of the all time. Are you still playing as the Orioles, Ripley? I know you finished your Montreal Expos save and you've been doing an Orioles save. I don't know if this is still part of that. You won the World Series as Baltimore with four hitters below the Mendoza line for the playoffs. Jeez. Man, it's rough when your hitters go cold in the playoffs. And those hitters had four MVP awards between them. Wow. I mean, that stuff happens in real life too, but usually don't still win the World Series when it happens. Well, congrats on another World Series. Here's the roster we built for tonight. So for the Raiders, the reason I set up the spreadsheet this way too is you can see what's highlighted. That's what I copy to create a text file for easy importing into the base game. The pitching staff are the five pitchers that Rickey Henderson faced the most. And we just took their peak seasons. We took 12, we need 12 pitchers. So we took two Frank Tananas, two Jack Morrises, three Jimmy Keys, two Charlie Huffs, and three Dave Steves. Gave us a good right left mix. We took six versions of Rickey. We took one from 1999 when he was actually on the Mets and had a decent season. We figured that one might be willing to take a back seat to some of the younger Rickeys. But so there's like five peak Rickeys and then that 99 Rickey Henderson. And then for the other positions, I could have gone in and given Rickey the ability to play infield and stuff, but instead we used Baseball Savant to find the players who played the most seasons with Rickey. And, we had to go by position. So it's not all the players who played the most with him, but it's the roster of the players we could have with the most seasons. So Terry Steinbach, Mike Heath at catcher, Mark McGuire at first, Willie Randolph, Carney Lansford, and Mike Bordick around the infield, and then a couple of utility guys in Lance Blankenship and Mike Gallego. So that's the team. We're bringing them into 2023. They're going to replace the Mets, and we're going to run the sim. There is a form pinned to the chat for the Raiders if you want to check that out. Um, you don't have to be present to win, so you have to take off. Feel free to submit your guesses, and if you win, we'll get you your packs. Ripley says, we're talking on stream how he's one of those players that will never happen again. Like, there will be another Mike Trout, some peak athlete, center field great hitter, but there will never be another Rickey. Yeah, both in terms of his performance on the field and his personality, right? That combination. No, I don't think anyone's ever going to touch his stolen base record. And, I mean, there's not going to be another personality like Rickey Henderson. Um, I was talking earlier in the stream when we first started. He's one of the players that he, it wasn't until very end of his career that he was on my team on the Mets. But even when he was on the crosstown rival Yankees, he made me love baseball more because of the way he played the game and his huge personality. Was just so fun to watch. And even though he was on the wrong team for me, I thought he was great. So, so yeah, we're celebrating his career. The fun part I was definitely picking the peak Rickeys. He had so many good seasons in so many different ways. And we didn't even take the season where he stole the most bases because he got caught stealing so many times that year. But it was fun picking and choosing which Rickeys we want to add to this team. And you'll see in the form, some of the questions are around, how many stolen bases will the Rickey who steals the most bases have? How many home runs will the Rickey who hits the most home runs hit? Um, but in general, too, how many teams will this team win, right? The way it's put together. So, yeah, hopefully, Ripley, hopefully you'll fill one out. Anyone in the chat. Although, Ripley, I don't think you play perfect teams, so you probably don't care about packs. But yeah, if anyone out there is interested, feel free to fill out a form. Like I said, you don't have to be present to win. You can submit it and run. We don't mind. So yeah, here's what we're working on. I was just getting the base game up. We're going to start doing the import and everything. So we're doing 2023 as the Mets, my favorite team, and legitimately one of the teams that Rickey Henderson played for. All right, so here's one of the things we get to do because we have an entire roster. Oh, let's do all the game settings that are described in the pack giveaway form. Okay, scouting is already off. We're turning coaching off. Now, please note, enable owner goals is unchecked, right? So there are no owner goals, but the owner's still going to bother us about goals. I think it's a bug in the game. Injuries off, suspensions off, player development is all turned off. There's nothing in these that we need, but for league settings, it opens up a whole new subset of menus. Nothing here, but under rules, we're going to turn off trading. And there is going to be no roster expansion. We're going to go from 26 teams to 26 players to 26 players. Nothing on financials. Pitchers may not win the MVP award. And we're going to remove popularity as a factor in all-star voting. Players are not going to retire or miss seasons according to history. And we're not going to import historical rookies. We are going to lock in the modifiers and not recalculate them. So by doing this, When we bring in a bunch of Rickey Hendersons with all their stolen bases, the game's reaction would be that's too many stolen bases. Everyone's going to steal less, including the Rickeys. By checking this and unchecking this, it's not going to do that. It's just going to say, come on in. We've already got our modifiers for the to create the run environment of 2023. We're not going to adjust it just because we got a bunch of stolen bases coming into the game. So the Rickeys will steal as many bases as the Rickeys can. Okay, while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of mailbox setting changes real quick. And we're going to try to minimize the interruptions by making some manager option changes. The reason I don't do the do not disturb mode is they've embedded too many things in here that gives the AI control over stuff that I don't like to let happen. So we just do a de facto do not disturb here. All right. Let's delete out the Mets roster. We don't need any of these players because we're going to bring in 26 players with no injuries or suspensions. We don't need a reserve. Okay, everything's set up now. So we're going to do a save here in case it crashes. At least we have everything set up. Okay, now the player importation happens from the free agency screen. Right, when you're in commissioner mode, you'll have this action pull down menu. You can create fictional players, which you do all the time for create a roster in some of our games. You can also import players. That's what we're doing today. We're using a historical database. And up here is where you can enter in players one at a time. The problem with that is it puts them into the free agent pool, and you're doing them one at a time. We are going to use a file. Click here to select the file. We need to find the one we created, which I named Rickey Henderson Tribute Roster. And now it's going to import all 26 players, but we need to select a few things. Base fielding ratings on, imported season, 3-year period, or we're going to do entire career because we need that position flexibility. Now, this will nerf players' ratings if they don't have enough at bats or innings. We won't have that problem, but just to make sure, I always take this way down. Okay. Now, if you want to do a league where you're drafting players from who you import, you would check this off, but we're not doing that. We want these players going. Oh, I almost forgot. In that notepad file, again, it doesn't have to be notepad, but it has to be a TXT file. The 3-letter abbreviation for the destination is Franchise Time Machine, FTM. This team's designation is still NYM. So we have to change that. I almost forgot. So under game settings, league structure, go to the Mets, NL East, New York Mets, NYM. We're just going to change this to FTM. Now when we go back to the free agency screen, and we do the import, now it's going to go into that FTM roster. Everything else remained the same, so we don't have to redo those. And let's import. Now the first test is, does it import 26 players? If it didn't, that means I typed something in wrong. Good, 26 players imported. Now the another thing we need to do is check the roster and make sure no one's like 1 star, because sometimes I will have put in the wrong year. This is interesting. This Jimmy Key had such good stats, but when you look at the ratings, he's got really low stuff and a 2-star pitcher. But everyone else looks pretty normal. You see, wow, even the 1999 Rickey was a 5-star Rickey Henderson. Man, what a stud. 40 years old, tail end of his career, Comes to the Mets, still 5 stars. Fantastic. We gave him some support too. There's a 5 star Frank Tanana. This is that fireballing young Frank Tanana. These Steves, I think the game does him injustice. But 4 star Dave Steve. We got a 5 star McGuire. We took an Oakland McGuire, right? Because we wanted tied to Rickey. 5 star Willie Randolph from when he played with him at the Yankees, and a 4.5 star Carney Lansford. So everything looks good. It looks like the import went well. We're going to first go to the pitching staff. And let's have the AI get us started. Okay. Oh, shoot. You know what I forgot to do? This is kind of important. When you use editor, I'm going to add the year to each player. Now, the year is here. You can see under historical year. This is the 1993 Jimmy Key. You don't need to do this. I'm a little bit nitpicky here. I like to know what version of each player we're seeing do each thing they do. Right? If a Jimmy Key wins 20 games, I want to know which Jimmy Key was it. Was it the 87 Jimmy Key? Was it the 85 Jimmy Key? Right? This is a 1983 Dave Steve. This is a 1984 Dave Steve. Here's a 77 Frank Tanana. Here's the 76 Charlie Huff. Again, these are the 5 pitchers who pitched the most who faced Rickey Henderson the most times. So they're not his teammates. So I didn't feel constrained by, years they would have played together. Maybe I could have gone limited to years they would have faced each other, but it's kind of, I don't know. I just want to pick peak versions of players to give Rickey as much help as possible. Here's the 91 Jack Morris. 1986 Jack Morris. And here's another Dave Steve, 1985. And here's the crafty lefty version of Frank Tanana, no longer the flamethrower. Okay, so now let's look at the pitching staff. Okay, oh, this Charlie Huff is missing a year. Why? He has a year. Why is it missing? Oh, did I click on the wrong one? 76 Charlie Huff. There it is. Okay, so went with the flamethrowing Tanana. One Toronto and one Yankees Jimmy Key. That's interesting. The Jimmy Key I thought was the peak Jimmy Key. It's got in the bullpen. Oh no, this is the 87 was the peak one. That's right. This is the young Jimmy Key. Okay. It's got the 85 Steve in the pen though. That's surprising. I guess it's got the lowest stuff. The AI does love stuff. It's got the 65 stuff Dave Steve and the 70 stuff Dave Steve ahead of it. Okay. Fair enough. So it's got interesting. It's got the crafty lefty Tanana closing. I don't love that. Now I get why I didn't put the 86 Jack Morris as a closer because he's got some home run challenges. That's the next highest. I want to put this Steve in there. 60 stuff. All right, we're going to make some changes here. We're going to put Dave Steve as the closer. Um, we're going to use the 87 Tanana and the 91 Morris as stoppers. Oh, no, no. I can't do that. I learned the hard way in one of our studs and duds sims that if you use a stopper, he'll take out your stud pitcher, even if just because like there's a tight spot earlier in the game, they'll pull him for the stopper. So we're not going to use stoppers here. We're just going to set up. Now, do I want the 91 Morse or I want this 86 Morse setting up? And then the 91 Morris and the 76 Huff are our middle relievers. Is that right? The 85 Huff gives up more bombs, so I want him. Well, he has better control, though. So I want the 85 Huff in middle relief. And then Morris or Jimmy Key. This Jimmy Key has no stuff, so he's going to be our long reliever. Okay, I don't mind this. This is good. Tanana and Morris can also be secondary closers. Morris and Huff will be secondary setup men. And then Key and Huff will be secondary middle relievers. Okay. Now, do we like this rotation? Flamethrowing Tanana as the ace? I don't mind that. The 93 Key number 2 starter? See, the AI is really penalizing Steve for the control, but I want this 70 stuff 84 Steve in the number 2 spot. Oh, I like this. And then we go Key Steve again. Okay, we are going to go always start a strict on occasion highest rested. Okay, I like this. All right, now let's see what it wants to do with the lineups. It's got a DH Rickey. Oh, now can Rickey not play right field? He cannot. We're going to fix that. I was a little worried about this. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with editor in the base game or how fielding ratings work, your outfield rating is based on your outfield range, error, and arm. There's a calculation that goes on. It combines that information with your experience in a position. Now, 200 is the maximum. You can see here, if Rickey had maximum experience in right field too, he'd be a 159 right fielder. The only thing preventing him from being a good right fielder is that he hasn't played that position. I wouldn't want to monkey with the ratings because those ratings are based on his stats. I would like to leave them that way. I don't mind changing the experience because the only reason he's not a good right fielder is he didn't play it. I guarantee you, if you rolled Rickey Henderson out into right field, he can be a fine right fielder. So we're going to give him 200 experience in right field, all the Rickeys, because I believe all the Rickeys could have played right field if he had wanted to. Now, he will only play it as well as he would have played it based on his ratings, but I don't think it makes sense to artificially prevent him from doing that. Like, look at Last Blankenship. He's got 200s in multiple positions because he gets maximum ability based on his ratings. Now, he's not a great third baseman. He's a 69 third baseman, which is a fine rating, but it's not higher because his individual infield ratings are not high enough. No, we're not monkeying with Rickey's fielding ratings. We're just giving him more experience in a position that we know he could have played. I feel fine doing that in a historical sense. So now let's go back to the lineups and let's see what the AI does. Now it should put some Rickeys in right field. Yeah. Now we're starting four Rickeys the way we thought we would. Right, left, and center, and DH. Now both VR and V left. Oh, I didn't add the years in. This is a problem. Like it's just Rickey Henderson's. We want to know which year Rickey is in what position. So let's add that in. Mike Heath is a 1983. Terry Steinbach, this is a 1996. It's less important for the other players, but I think it is helpful to know what year versions we're talking about. This is a 1996 McGuire. Mike Gallego, this is a 1991. Willie Randolph, this is a 1980. A fine 1980 season, by the way. I didn't realize how good he was in that era till we looked at that. 1989 Carney Lansford, a 336 batting average Carney Lansford. Mike Bordick, this is a 1992. Oh, the other position we need to check is we need to make sure we have a backup first baseman. The Man of Steel. This is the 1989 vintage of Rickey Henderson. This is a 1985 version. This is a 1983. This is the 1999, the Mets version. This is the 1990. And we have a 1992 Blankenship. Another Rickey. This one is a 1980. All right, that roster should be done now. So now let's see what's going on here. Does everyone have a year? Yeah. Okay, so 1980, Rickey Henderson is leading off. 1985, Rickey Henderson batting second. 1990, Rickey Henderson batting third. It's the 1989 Rickey that's DHing and batting fifth. And then on the bench, the 1983 Rickey. I wonder why 83. Oh, low power maybe? Why the 83? I knew the 99 would be benched, but why the 93? Oh, lowest contact. Oh, it's a combination of lowest contact, lowest power of the Rickeys. Even with the 75i, the AI does like contact. I'm just surprised because the AI also likes defense, and that 89, 90, 83 Rickey that it's benched is 75 defense. Let's look at the depth charts and see what's going on here. Okay, the 83 Rickey is backing up every outfield spot. I am going to switch the 99 Rickey into the backup DH position over Willie Randolph VR. Okay, so Anthony Rickey is going to get some playing time, backing up all three outfield spots and the number one pinch hitter and the number one pinch runner. Let's look up VL. Same thing. Oh, Rickey's already backing up against VL, backing up the DH VL. Oh, Willie Randolph is not starting. That's shocking to me. Oh, Mike Gallego has a much better defensive rating. I'm going to change that though. I like Willie Randolph starting, and Okay. That means I have to change the substitution pattern here. Gallego is going to be the backup, and VL will be the backup. Okay, great. Okay, I think we're good. Then we have to change the strategy. Now, normally I'm a sabermetrics guy, and we still can be. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go sabermetric because I don't want us giving up outs on bunts, and I don't want us wasting outs on stolen bases, except for Rickey. So we're going to go into each Rickey Henderson here, and we're going to go as individual strategy, and we're just going to crank up the base stealing. He's got a green light to steal as many bases as he wants. And you know what? It's not just adjusting because that doesn't take it up high enough. We need to override. And we'll go pretty aggressive on the base running too with him. And we do not want him wasting outs, hit and running, bunting for hits. Same profile for all the Rickeys. Maybe not the 99. I don't know. He could still scoot in 99. It's nerfed a little bit, but maybe we'll take it down a couple notches. Okay, I think we're good with this. Let's save this. All right, so we are about ready to start the sim, finally. Here's what we'll do another shorter commercial break. This is your, let's say, 2-minute warning to finish your pack giveaway forms. And then when we get back from this ad roll, we will close the form, check out what everyone's thinking in terms of guesses, and start the sim. All right, looks like we're back from the ad break. If anyone is still working on their form, please let me know. I'm about to close it so we can review the guesses. And I don't want to leave you out if you're about to hit submit. Okay, I'm not seeing anything in chat, so I'm going to go ahead and close the form. And I'll have it generate a spreadsheet of the guesses. We got 9 contestants tonight. That is very close to the late night record here. Appreciate everyone participating and being here. It's more fun, more the merrier. All right, I'm going to hide the usernames for now, and then I'll put the guesses up on the screen. Yeah, let me resize some columns here a little bit before I put it up. All right, perfect. All right, here's what people are thinking. Oh, let me save this real quick. Save the game. Okay. Will this team make the playoffs? Everybody, all 9 of you think this team will make the playoffs. I think that's a good bet. Will this team make it to the World Series? 3 say no, 6 say yes. Will it win the World Series? Um, 4 say no. So one more person, one of the World Series people thinks that they will not win the World Series. Will a Rickey Henderson win the MVP award? We've got 7 yeses and 2 nos. Will a pitcher from this team win the Cy Young award? This is much more split. There's 4 yeses and 5 nos. And then we'll save the numerical guesses for after the simulation. Now, one fun thing we do every simulation now is we roll it forward one day so that the game will generate the MLB season predictions. Let's see what the game thinks is going to happen compared to what our community members think is going to happen. So once you roll that day forward, you go to Major League Baseball, reports and info, and preseason predictions. So you can see what the game thinks is going to happen. So here it gives you a sense of what other stolen base totals look like. Right, in the AL East, it's 154 to 276. In the AL Central, it's 118 to 262. The AL West is much lower. It goes from 140, but the Oakland Athletics, 327. We are by far projected to have the most stolen bases in the AL, and I'm going to venture to guess in the majors. Oh, sorry. That's not us. We are 517. More than double, I would say, probably the average. And 150 stolen bases ahead of the next closest team. We're also predicted to win 130 games, score 1,181 runs. That's about 400 more than most other teams, 300 more than the next top team. Yeah, 130 wins. I mean, part of it is the Rickey Hendersons, but part of it is we also chose peak seasons from everybody on the team, including the pitching staff. That said, the ERA is not crazy. It's only 3.27. Well, Foxville, sometimes it has not gone according to the preseason predictions, so don't lose hope yet. The home run total is modest, 237. The average prediction, yes, is 279. A team average of 279 is pretty crazy. What's the highest in the AL? Yeah, the highest in the AL is I think this 260 here for the Rangers. 279 is really high. I'm a little surprised that the home run total is modest. Um, but we do have a bunch of role players that played a lot of years with Rickey, so that's kind of what I liked about that list too. Other than McGuire and that one Carney Lansford season that's just a peak. 336 season. Yeah, the ERA is low, but it's not like create a roster low, right? Where the team area is like below 3. It's still within reason. You have other teams that are unedited, like the Brewers at 343, and um, the Rays and Orioles at 353 and 357. We're in the realm of real teams. Of course, we are lower than that, but we're in the realm. Yeah, well, this is a preseason projection, Ripley. We're projected to win 130. Oh, one thing also I need to do is we've run into problems with this before where if I leave this abbreviation changed, it will not let us see win probability graphs and a bunch of other things. So we're going to change this back to NYM. This happened when D Block played Creator Roster with us. We suddenly couldn't see a bunch of stuff we needed to see. Now, the test for that is, can we see manager history? Yes. Can we see manager achievements? Yes, so I think we'll be fine now. But we will sim one game just to be sure. All right, well, we've gone over everyone's guesses. We've gone over the preseason predictions. Let me get a screenshot of those predictions, actually. Oh, yeah, wait. There's one other thing we need to do. Well, we'll screenshot the team predictions, but it also projects the top hitters and pitchers. Oh, you know what? Since I started the season as FTM, now I think I have to leave it as FTM. Oh, I'm worried that I'm going to mess this up. I'm worried that I'm going to mess this up. Yeah, the 631 run differential is impressive. Ripley says, Loki reminds me of an OTP Reddit post I saw ages ago. Some guy took the worst team in the league, edited everyone's stealing ability and speed to the max, changed nothing else about them, and managed every game and stole every single time. So it's on base with that base empty in front of them. They won 140 games. That's awesome. So yeah, the top hitters in the league are the 1990 Rickey Henderson, or projected to be 45 home runs from 1990 Rickey and 85 steals. The 96 McGuire is projected to hit 67 bombs. He had 52 in real life, I think. The 85 Rickey is projected to have 29 bombs and 114 stolen bases. That's it, though. The other Rickeys are not in the top 10. That's interesting. The pitching staff, we have four of the top 10. The flame balling young Tanana, the 83 and 84 Steves, and the 87 Jimmy Key. Ripley says, yeah, the engine doesn't really know what to do if you're like, no, you are still in that phase. Yes. Now, one thing we did do is the player strategies for all the Rickeys is maximum steal. So they have the green light every time, anytime. Okay, you know what? Because this generated these as FTM, I do think I have to go back and change it back to FTM. I wonder if that means with D Block Sim, I changed it after we started the season. I kind of remember he did ask me to change it, but I thought he asked me before we started the season, but maybe I'm wrong. I've been known to be wrong many times. Okay, let's do this. We'll sim one game and we'll see if we see the win probability chart. That will be our canary in the coal mine. In fact, let's do this. Let's high scores. I want to see this team in action. So we're going to watch them play the Marlins in the season opener. The flame ball, the flame throwing young Tanana is on the hill. Oh, it is. Let me see highlight reel. So we did have to leave it as FTM. I think it's whatever the abbreviation is when you do that 1 day roll into the season. That's what you have to leave it as. All right. Well, we already have an 89 Rickey Henderson on base. Terry Steinbach's up, 2 out, 3-0 count. Let's see if Rickey goes. Line drive up the middle. This should be easy for Rickey to score. Look at that blazing speed. He's in standing. Ripley's had guys with max stealing and steal aggressiveness, and even if you set the game strategy and their strategy to steal as often as possible, they'll still only get like 100 steals in a season. Did you have that as override or adjust? I had a guy crack 160 steals in the season, but I managed every single game because we've had a creator roster player steal 166 bases, and we were not micromanaging him. So the Rickeys are up to nothing, and Miami's up in the bottom of the third. The young Frank Tanana working on a one hitter. Oh, that's a fly ball in the deep right field, and that is gone. All right, top of the fourth now. The Rickeys looking to add to their lead. Steinbach up deep in the left field. That's going to be gone. 4-2 now for the Rickeys. I guess stolen bases aren't highlights because we're not really seeing any steals. Okay, bottom of fifth, Araya's up with 2 men on. This is a dangerous situation. 2 outs, 2-2 count. Ground ball to second, fielded cleanly, over to first for the out. Nice play by Willie Randolph, Yankees teammate of Rickey Henderson. All right, we go all the way to the bottom of the ninth. Charlie Huff now in relief. 2 outs, 1-2 count to Brian De La Cruz. Ground ball to short. Bordick fields it deep in the hole. Gets him out at first. Ripley says, yeah, I basically sim until my base thief was up. If he got on base, then I'd force to steal second and third. Now, I'd be curious to see this box score because the highlights didn't show any steals. I should have thought of that because we've never seen steals before in a highlight. Let's see. 1980 Rickey went 0 for 4 with a walk. 85 Rickey went 1 for 4. 90 Rickey went 0 for 3, but scored a run and got an RBI. 1989 Rickey 1 for 3, 2 runs scored, 2 walks. Ripley says he'd have 3 games in a row with nothing. Then my managed game, he'd have 8. So yeah, you can definitely steal more if you're live managing the game. That's for sure. Okay, base running, stolen bases, 85 Rickey, 89 Rickey, and Willie Randolph getting in the stolen base game. Nice. Tanana goes 7 to third, 1 earned, scattering 4 hits and 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. Did give up 1 home run. And then Charlie Huff came in and pitched 1 2/3 clean, just 1 walk and a strikeout. Player of the game, Frank Tanana. That's it. So we do get the win probability graph. We did get the highlights. So we are working now. We have the right settings. All right, let's go to the standings. All right, so the Mets 1-0. The Nationals 1-0. This is a Nationals team that usually only wins 40 games, 40, 50 games. All right, we are still on March 31st. So what's the second game look like? Here's 84 Steve. Okay, let's do one more quick play. Um, I'll kind of zip through it. Mostly, I just want to watch the Rickeys on base. So let's just watch the replay. We'll kind of skip through when there's not a Rickey on base. If anyone knows about these camera settings, one of these days I'd like to land on like kind of like our default settings. I know Dr. Dynastic is good about explaining them, but at the time I hadn't really cracked this open yet, so it was kind of all just Greek to me. And now that we're doing a lot more of these highlights, I like to get the settings right. Okay, here we go. 2-2 count for the leadoff Rickey Henderson. I think that's the 80 Rickey Henderson. And Rickey lines one into right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. All right, we may get to see a stolen base here. Throw over the first. Here's the pitch. Rickey's going. Throws him not going to be in time. Rickey's safe. Oh, line drive in left field by Rickey. Oh, not deep enough. Okay, it's now 1990 Rickey Henderson. This is MVP Rickey Henderson up. Rickey's running another stolen base. 2 in 1 inning. All right, now runner on third with one out for MVP Rickey Henderson. Draws the walk. There's an open base at second. Are we going to see another steal? There he goes. Oh, he goes back to first. All right, this is now 89 Rickey Henderson at bat. 1990 Rickey Henderson on first. Throw over, not in time. Throw over, not in time. Ground ball. Oh, past the third baseman. Look at that Rickey go to third while the left fielder just holds the ball. Jeff the Jar says, I wonder which one got to wear 24. That's awesome. Actually, we should look at the roster. Oh yeah, let's see. Yeah, we'll have to look at the roster. All right, here's Connie Lansford who hit 336 this year. Ground ball up the middle. 2 Rickeys are going to score. All right, Terry Steinbach. Ground ball up, line drive up the middle. That's a base hit. Now, can Lansford score? Yep, he's in. Mike Bordick up at bat now. We're almost back up to more Rickeys. Ground ball to third. Can they turn 2? No. Oh, there was 2 outs anyway. That's the end of the inning. Okay. I kind of want to watch Dave Steve pitch a little bit. Oh, strikeout. Check swing. Line drive up the middle. Soft liner caught by the shortstop. Arias ground ball to first. Steve covers. Wow, impressive 1-2-3 inning by Steve. All right, after Willie Randolph, we got more Rickeys coming up. So let's just go through this. Line drive. That's a base hit. Now, can Randolph get out of the way, though, for the Rickeys? Oh, goes down swinging. 1980 Rickey Henderson. Here's the 85 Rickey Henderson. Fly ball in the right field. That'll be caught. 1990 MVP Rickey Henderson. Oh, throw it to first. They're keeping an eye on Randolph. Randolph's going. Wow. It must be contagious. The Rickeys have Willie Randolph running now. And the MVP Rickey goes down swinging. All right. I like watching Steve pitch. Swinging. That's 2 strikeouts already. Soft liner over the shortstop's head. That'll be the first base hit of the game for the Marlins. Throw over to first, not in time. Throw over to first, not in time. Throw over to first, not in time. We're clearly not playing 2024 rules. Goes down swinging. 3 strikeouts now. Another soft liner over the shortstop's head that drops in. It's that same weak liner into left field, but they've been effective. All right, Jake Stallings up now. 2 outs, 0-2 count. Another strikeout. Steve mowing them down. Okay, McGuire up with Rickey Henderson on deck. Goes down swinging. Here's 89, Rickey Henderson. Goes down swinging. Luzardo's a machine. Lansford up now. That was my intent. I jinxed him so Lansford could get the hit. Steinbach. Line drive up the middle. That's going to drop in front of the center fielder. Base hit. The runners held, and then the center fielder let it get by him, so they advanced to second and third. Mike Bordick up now. Ground ball up the middle is short. And that ends the inning. Steve fly ball to left field. And that's an easy catch. Chaz Chisholm Jr. My brain always wants to mix those up and say Chaz Chisholm Jr. Throw to first, not in time. Line drive in the right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. The runner had to hold up, though, so he should be held at second. Arias up now with 1 out. Oh, gone down to third, just waiting for the runner to come in. That's embarrassing for that base runner. All right, 2 outs now. 3-1 count to Arias. Line drive in the left. That's going to be a base hit. Might score the runner. Let's see the arm. Rickey. And he's safe. Throw to first, not in time. I don't think Arias is really a threat to steal. Is he? Goes down swinging. All right, Willie Randolph up, and then we have 3 consecutive Rickeys coming up. Ground ball to third. Funky throw, but makes the play. 1980, Rickey Henderson up at bat. Line drive into right field, into the corner. That's going to be extra bases. Rickey round up. Slides into second. I thought for sure he was going to go for a triple. All right, 85, Rickey Henderson up. Checks his swing. Runners in, stealing third. Another stolen base for Rickey. Ground ball to second. That's going to score Rickey. Rickey drives in Rickey. All right, 1990, Rickey up now. Line drive into right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. All right, McGuire up now. 2 outs. Throw over to first. Rickey's back in time. Throw over to first. Not in time. Here's the pitch. Rickey's running. Throw by the catcher. Not in time. Oh, and the ball gets away. Rickey's headed to third. That instantly changes an inning. Line drive in the center field. That's a base hit. That's a run that we might not have scored without the stolen base and the bad throw. And here comes 89, Rickey Henderson. Rickey would love this so much. I'm glad you think so, Foxhill. All right, Jesus Sanchez up. Let's skip the half innings now. I've seen Steve pitch enough. It's been fun. But we're all here to see Rickey. All right, Carney Lansford up. We've got no Rickeys for the first 4 batters of this inning. Oh, line drive in the right field, right center field, but it's caught. Terry Steinbach up now. Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. They're doing what they can to get a Rickey up this inning. Mike Bordick. Ground ball to third. To second, over to first. They turn the double play. All right, Steve's still in the game. We'll do another half inning. All right, Willie Randolph leading off, and then we got 3 consecutive Rickeys. Goes down looking. All right, here's 1980 Rickey Henderson. Ground ball to short. Better hurry. And he gets him. Here's 1985 Rickey Henderson. Goes down swinging. All right. Another half inning. I bet Foxel says, I bet 1989 Rickey is at the plate, while 1990 Rickey is on first, with 1980 Rickey on third. Was already a sentence he said in his mind once. That would be something Rickey would do. It does sound like something Rickey would do. Ground ball to second, fielded cleanly, and the 1990 MVP Rickey is retired. Mark McGuire up at bat, goes down looking. 1989 Rickey, ground ball to short, slow roller, does get him in time. All right, Steve still in the game in the seventh, dealing. All right, top of the eighth now. We got no Rickeys for a while. Lansford, fly ball to right field. Steinbach draws a walk. One more base runner would guarantee a Rickey. Oh, goes down looking. Willie Randolph, ground ball to second. Oh, it's dropped. He's in safely. That means 1980 Rickey is going to get to bat. This is one of the lighter hitting Rickeys, though, so not a home run threat. Oh, did I jinx him into a home run? No, not even warning track power. All right. Bottom of the eighth. Now, the good thing is, as the visitors, we get 9 innings of at bats, so more Rickeys. Dave Steve looking for a complete game, I guess. Still a 5 hit, 1 run performance by Dave Steve. All right, we got the 85 Rickey Henderson with a 90 Rickey Henderson on deck. 85 Rickey drives it into the corner in the left field. That's going to rattle around while he runs the bases. And he's in a second with a leadoff double. 1990 Rickey Henderson at bat. Ground ball to third. He is out, but the other Rickey advances to third with 1 out. Mark McGuire up at bat. Oh, goes down swinging. That wastes having a runner in third with 1 out. All right, let's see if the 89 Rickey can drive this Rickey in. Ground ball to short, fielded cleanly, and the threat is over. All right, Jack Morrison now to close. Let's see Jack close. Oh, I'll watch this. Goes down swinging. 1 strikeout. Garrett Cooper up now. Fly ball to, oh, deep right center field. We knew that Jack Morris had a little HRA issue. There it is on full display. Ground ball to third, fielded cleanly. Lansford gets the out. And Jacob Stallings up. Jack Morrison gets him swinging. I mean, 70 stuff, 40 home run suppression, 2 strikeouts and a home run. That's about right. All right, and the New York Rickeys win it. Let's unhide the scores. Look at the box score. Really, let's look at the stolen bases. Wow, 1980 Rickey had 3 steals. You know what? Those are the first 3 of the season. He was feeling left behind, so he went ahead and stole 3 today. 1990 Rickey gets his first, and Willie Randolph gets his second steal. Dave Steve goes 7 1/3, 5 hits, 4 walks, 1 earned, 8 strikeouts. Jack Morris comes in, gives up a home run, and strikes out the side. That's in keeping with his profile. 70 stuff. Oh no, this one only has 55 stuff. That's crazy that he struck out the side with 55 stuff. Wow, impressive. All right, well, let's see. Here's the leaderboards here. You can see the stolen bases. 1980 Rickey jumps to first place with those 3 steals. I bet he took that third base home with him too. Dave Steve, 8 strikeouts, leading the league. All right, let's go ahead and sim a month now. Let's finish today. Let everyone else catch up. The Rickeys are 2-0. All right, let's go ahead and do a month. Off to a hot start. Rickey Henderson, 1989, steals career base 800. The 1999 Rickey Henderson stole career base number 1300. Pitcher of the month, Jimmy Key. 9-game run streak by Rickey Henderson. 7 consecutive on bases by 1985 Rickey Henderson. 18 consecutive steals by 1980 Rickey Henderson. Holy cow. And we had an 8-game winning streak. All right, I'm going to screenshot this 18 stolen base streak, but also this 2 milestones in one month. Career steal 800 and career steal 1300. All right, let's check out this Jimmy Key pitcher of the month. Jimmy Key went 5-0, 2.05 ERA, 32 strikeouts in 44 innings. All right, let's see how our Rickeys are doing here. Okay. Willie Randolph, 10 steals, no caught stealing. 83 Rickey off the bench. Yeah, off the bench. 10 steals, 2 caught stealing. 85 Rickey, 11 steals, 1 caught stealing. 89 Rickey, 15 steals, 1 caught stealing. 1990 Rickey, the MVP Rickey, 17 steals, 3 caught stealing. And the leadoff 1980 Rickey, 21 steals and 1 caught stealing. This efficiency is something Rickey did not see most of his career. He got caught a lot. Um, that year he stole 130. I think he also led the league in caught stealing, and I think he was only successful about 3/4 of the time. This efficiency is great. All right, let's do another month. That was fun. We're on another winning streak here. We're stuck on 10 losses. Finally went up to 11. A 9-game home run streak by Mark McGwire, a 10-game RBI streak by Mark McGwire, and a 10-game extra base hit streak by Mark McGwire. We had a 12-game winning streak, a 4-run home run streak by 85 Rickey Henderson. That's impressive. And player of the week, 1990 Rickey Henderson, and Carney Lansford, and a third player that we cannot see. Okay, Shoemaker, you're not supposed to bother us. That box is unchecked. You're not supposed to bother us. And Mark McGwire, batter of the month. Let's see what Big Mac did. Oh, look at this. Not the 84 Dave Steve that we watched, but the 83 Steve. Hold on, let me get a drink of water here. Okay. So, yeah, it's the 83 Steve this time. In the month, he had 6 starts with 5 wins and no losses, 39 in the third innings pitched, 41 strikeouts, and a 2.05 ERA. Could you imagine that in real life? The owner calls the GM, and the GM's like, I told you before the season to leave me the F alone. I unchecked that box. Don't call back. Here's McGuire's batter of the month. 350 average, 18 bombs in a month, 47 RBI, 29 run scores, and a 468 on base percentage. Crushing it. Here's Lansford, player of the week. He had 363 in a week, no home runs, 5 RBIs, 5 runs scored. We had a couple other players of the week. Let's see if we can find those. McGuire rips home run number 300. NLD's top player, Rickey Henderson, 1990. That week, he went 435, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. Didn't mention the steals. Clannock says, then he calls his secretary and berates her for letting the owners call through. All right, let's go back to the standings page. All right, 45 and 12, 789 win percentage. No other team has more than 35 wins, right? Oh, Baltimore has 36. We're at 45. 9-1 in our last 10. We just lost the first game in a while. Top three stolen base totals: 1980, 1985, and 1990 Rickey Henderson's. All right. Let's sim another month. 26 consecutive steals by the 1990 Rickey Henderson, 6-game home run streak by Mark McGwire, and a 12-game win streak by Jimmy Key. Screenshot this. 63 and 20, 759 win percentage. There's only one other team above 50 wins. That's the Dodgers with 54, and we're at 63. It's impressive that the unchanged Dodgers are kind of keeping pace with us. McGwire leading the league in home runs. He is 16 ahead of Matt Olson. The 1990 Rickey tied for second in RBI, but they're both trailing McGwire by 30. The top three stolen base leaders are all Rickey Henderson's. Again, 80, 85, and 90. McGwire leading in OPS. McGwire in 85, Rickey, second and third in batter war. On the pitching side, Jimmy Key leading the league in wins, tied with Bobby Miller. Tanana second in strikeouts, which is impressive because Spencer Strider usually strikes out well over 300, and Tanana's keeping pace with him. All right, let's go to the All-Star break. 7-game RBI streak by the 1985 Rickey Henderson. Nice. All right, let's sim one more day to go into the All-Star break. We are 69 and 22. Very nice win total there. No one else has over 60 wins, so we are very comfortably in the major league lead. 8-2 in the last 10. The Rickeys are still dominating the stolen base leaderboard. McGwire still leading in home runs and RBI. All right, let's see what the All-Star voting looked like. All right, catcher no votes. McGwire leading the votes in first base with over 5 million. Willie Randolph second at second base with 3.2 million. Okay, left field, Rickey Henderson second in voting behind Juan Soto, only 200,000 votes behind. In center field, Rickey Henderson leading with 3.4 million votes. In right field, Rickey is not in the top three. I bet Rickey is not happy with that. And at DH, 1989 Rickey is third in voting with 2.9 million votes. Now, we know there are problems with the pitcher voting, so we're not going to worry about that. But did we get snubbed? 85 Rickey got votes. The right field Rickey is the 1980 Rickey. Now, he is only hitting 263. His OPS is only 788, but he does have 58 steals against 9 caught stealing. So the fact that he didn't get in the top three in voting is, I don't know, maybe understandable because the 260 average, but the 58 steals, come on, that's only second to the 85 Rickey Henderson here. All right, well, let's go see who was actually selected. All right, selections to the All-Star game. We'll count them up. Alcantara is on here every year, no matter how good or bad his record is, and he's 5-6 with a 3.75 ERA this year. Okay. Did none of our players? We had no pitchers make the All Star team. That feels like a snub. Where's Tanana? Okay, Jimmy T's 15-1 with a 3.05 ERA, and he's not an All Star. Tanana's 11-1. Granted, 3.26 is a tad high, but he's got a .93 WHIP. And if you want ERA, then this Dave Steve is 11-4 with a 2.64. We got five guys with over 100 strikeouts at the All Star break, and none of them made the All Star game. I call BS on that. But how many pitchers do we have? Why are we carrying so few pitchers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I mean, it's an all star roster. Shouldn't we have like 20 pitchers? All right. Well, Mark McGwire was voted in. Willie Randolph was chosen, hitting 321 with 34 steals. 85 Rickey Henderson was chosen. Center field Rickey Henderson was voted in. They didn't take right field Rickey Henderson. They didn't take DH Rickey Henderson. I feel like we got snubbed. And you know what that's all this is gonna do is it's gonna make Rickey steal more bases and kick more ass in the second half. Because Rickey's gonna know that Rickey got snubbed multiple times. Multiple Rickeys getting snubbed. Rickey's not gonna like that. All right. Home run challenge. Mark McGwire is our representative. McGwire advances 12-6 over Corey Seager. Get out of my way. Matt Olson, Aaron Judge, and Shohei Ohtani are the other ones to advance. And Matt Olson advances 10-6. Ohtani beats Judge 13-12. And Matt Olson wins the home run challenge. That doesn't interest me at all. All right, let's advance to the All Star game. Let's see how that goes. All right, the AL wins 5-4, unfortunately. But performance of the day: Rickey Henderson, 1990, 2 for 3, two doubles, two RBI, and a walk. Stolen bases aren't listed here, but I'm guessing there were some steals too. All right, let's see what happened in the All Star game here. 1990 Rickey went 2 for 3, two RBIs, a walk. We'll find out about the strikeouts later. McGwire goes 0 for 2 with two strikeouts. 85 Rickey goes 1 for 2. Willie Randolph goes 0 for 1. Oh, yeah, we had no pitchers. Why am I looking down here? How many stolen bases? 1990 Rickey and Henderson had. That's a little disappointing. All right. Well, let's go back to the standings in the part of the season that matters, the second half. That's enough for the All Star game. Oh, that's a winning streak there. We're stuck on 22 losses. That is a long winning streak. We are still on it. 16-game winning streak. The Rickeys continue to lead the league in stolen bases. In fact, they're two tied. The 1990 and the 1980 are tied with 69 steals each. Nice number. All right, let's sim to roster expansion date, where there is no roster expansion. Oh, wait. Let's look at the records. We're 84-22. The next closest team is the Tampa Bay Rays. AW's Rays with 69 wins. Very nice record there. Okay, let's go ahead and sim to roster expansion. Now we're stuck on 23 wins. Two consecutive winning streaks. Okay, that 22-game winning streak ended, but we're now on a 21-game winning streak right after. The 1985 Rickey is already at 87 stolen bases. with a month left in the season. The 1990s at 85 and the 1980s at 81. I don't know that we'll have more than one Rickey hit 100 steals, but we might get one. Willie Randolph now second in the league in batting average. That's unexpected. We have the top three win leaders, which makes sense given how good our record is. Tanana second in strikeouts. Spencer Strider finally starting to put a little distance between them, but he's still only 14 strikeouts ahead. Our 85 Steve is third in the league in saves. All right, let's go a week at a time and see how this season ends up. We are on a 21 game winning streak. We're now on a 24 game winning streak. Fox Hill underestimated this team. Yeah, like Ripley said, speed, you can't underestimate speed in this game, especially if you unleash it. I think that's the thing is it's not always easy to unleash it. We have clinched a playoff spot. That X, does that mean we clinched the division too? Maybe at this point. We are 44 games ahead of the Marlins, 68 and a half games ahead of the Nationals. No one else has 90 wins yet. We're at 114. All right, let's do another week. We're still on 23 losses. 8 game quality start streak by Dave Steep. The Rickeys are getting close to 100. The 1990s at 92, and the 1985 is at 91. Let's do another week. We did finally get some losses, and then we got a few in a row there. We got 4 losses after another winning streak. The 3 Rickeys are at 95, 95, and 94 steals with a week and a half left to go in the season. We have a week left in the season. We're at 129 wins, and there are three Rickeys with over 95 steals. And we're on another winning streak, an 8 gamer this time. All right, let's go at the end of the regular season. I'm watching these steals. We have 100 steals. All right, we have the 85 Rickey with 102 steals, the 90 Rickey with 99 steals, and the 1980 Rickey with 97 steals. Sorry, who was our last game against? Oh, are we done? Oh no, it's against the Phillies. What's the Phillies record? 81 and 80. Okay, you know what? I was really tempted to just take over from the AI and just steal like crazy and get 3 Rickeys over 100 stolen bases, but I do. We always let the AI run the show, so we're going to keep doing that. They have outperformed the projections. We had a 22 game winning streak, a loss, and then went on another 20 plus game winning streak. And we're hoping to get 3 Rickeys above 100 steals, but we might only get 2. We have 1 game left to go. We did get another Rickey at 100 steals. The 1990 Rickey got to 100 steals. We go 135 and 27, end on another winning streak of 14 games. The Corey Seager season, let's see, 346 average, 115 RBI, 1057 OPS. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, let's see. Willie Randolph finishes third in the league in batting. Mark McGwire leads the league with home runs with 69, a very nice total there. Mark McGwire also 178 RBI. 1990 Rickey with 153 RBI. 1990 was Rickey's MVP season. That Rickey Not only did he get 150, not only did he drive in 153 runs, he stole 100 bases. The 1985 rookie, though, leads the league with 102, and the 1980 rookie comes in with 97 steals. You know, the other two rookies are giving that 1980 rookie a hard time for finishing three stolen bases below 100. Why get that close and not get those last three, Rickey? Come on. McGuire and 1985 Rickey, first and second in OPS, and two Rickeys and a Willie Randolph, top three in batter war. On the defensive side, Jimmy Key finishes second in the league in um, earned run average, leads the league in wins. Tanana and 1993, Jimmy Key finished second and third. And the flame throwing young Tanana comes in second in strikeouts. 85 Dave Steve converted into a closer, saves 41 games, tied for second. And Tanana leads the league in pitching war. All right, well, let's head to the postseason. Oh, there must have been a game. Was there a 163? Yeah. The Mariners and the Rangers had to play. No, no, it wasn't them. No, why did it take another day then? Huh. I thought maybe that meant there was a 163 somewhere, but I don't think there was. Oh no, the Rangers had 163, but the Mariners did not. Did the Rangers have to play? No. Who did they play? What happened there? The Tigers. Oh, hold on a second. The Tigers and the Rangers had to play one. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. That's why, because this wasn't making sense, but they had to play across divisions, I guess, to break a wild card tie. So the Orioles must have had some sort of tiebreaker lead, and then the Rangers and the Tigers had to play for the last wild card spot. Okay, sorry, I was a little confused by all that. So now we can finish the season because of that 163. We had 1990 Rickey 30-30 and 1985 Rickey 30-30. It says 30-30, but you know it's 3100, right? I guess they don't have a 3100 category. Jimmy Key leads the league in wins, and Mark McGuire is the home run champion. And we are headed to the playoffs. Because both players they say are 31, 30-30. 1990 Rickey had 100 steals. In 1985, Rickey had 102 steals. So these are actually 3,100 seasons, which is awesome. All right. All right. In the wild card, we have the Rangers and the Orioles, and the Cubs and the Brewers. The Rangers win to face AEW's Rays, and the Mariners and the Twins face off in the other AL matchup. The Brewers beat the Cubs to face the New York Rickeys, and the Reds and the Dodgers are in the other series. All right. The Dodgers beat the Reds 5-4. And with young flame throwing Frank Tanana on the mound, The Mets beat the Brewers 1-0 in a pitcher's duel. Tanana goes 8 innings, 4 hits, no earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Gets the no decision. Steve gets the win that the Mets walk it off in the bottom of the ninth. Home run by McGuire to walk it off. How many stolen bases in that game? Stolen bases by 85 Rickey, 89 Rickey, and 83 Rickey. All right. AL's going to get in on the action now. Twins walk it off in the bottom of the 10th to beat the Mariners to get a start lead in that series. Yeah, Jeff the Jars, three stolen bases, but no runs until the walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth. And AW's Rays, 6-0 beating of the Rangers. A 2-hit shutout of the Rangers there. The Angels looking to extend their lead. They do, winning 8-2, taking a commanding 2-0 series lead there. And for the Mets, it is 84 Dave Steve against Brandon Woodruff. And the New York Rickeys win 7-1. Mark McGuire, again, player of the game, hits 2 home runs this time. 3 home runs in the first 2 games for Mark McGuire. 1990 with a steal, and Carney Lansford chipping in a steal. All right, the NL's going to be on a travel day. And the Mariners tie up that series with a 6-4 win. And the other series, the Rays take a 2-0 series lead, beating the Rangers 8-5. Right, the AL's going to be on a travel day. The NL's back in action. The Dodgers, in a shootout, beat the Reds 14-10 to advance to the NLCS. And for the Mets, looking to close out the series, we got 1993 Jimmy Key on the mound against Freddie Peralta. And the Mets win again, 15-4 this time. Home runs by Carney Lansford and 1990 Rickey Henderson. Steals by 1980 Rickey, 1985 Rickey, 1990 Rickey, 1989 Rickey, and Willie Randolph. 15 runs on 9 hits. Yeah, that's a lot of run generation. 1990 Rickey went 2 for 4 with 3 runs and 6 RBI. Nice line score. All right, let's advance today. The NLCS is already set. In the AL, the Mariners win 5-0, taking a 2-1 series lead. Tampa Bay looking to sweep the Rangers. Oh, but the Rangers stay alive, walking off in the bottom of the 10th, winning 4-3. Both series are 2-1 now. Seattle looking to close out the Twins. And they do, throwing a 6-hit shutout, winning 4-0 to advance to the ALCS. Tampa Bay hoping to do the same. But the Rangers win 12-2 to force a Game 5. All right, it's another travel day. There's only one game in town. The Rays and the Rangers going to Game 5. And the Rays win 9-6. Congratulations, AW. The Rays are headed to the ALCS. All right, so it's the Mariners Rays and the Mets Dodgers. Where's EVC? Where's EVC? All right. The New York Rickeys taking on the Dodgers to start off the championship series. and they win 7-1. Frank Tanana, again, player of the game, 7 1/3, 5 hits, 2 walks, 1 earned, and 6 strikeouts. 1985, Rickey goes 2 for 5 with a home run, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. But we need the box score to see how many bases were stolen. 1980, Rickey steals 2. 85, Rickey gets a steal, and Carney Lansford gets another steal. Look at this. 87, Frank Tanana, finishing the game for 77, Frank Tanana. Oops. All right. AL's going to be in action now, too. And the Mariners, it takes 10 innings, but they take a 1-0 series lead, winning 4-3. And in the NL, the Mets take a 2-0 series lead, winning 8-2. Home runs by Steinbach, McGuire, Randolph, 1990 Rickey, and 1985 Rickey. Steve's the player of the game, 84 Steve. Let's check the box score for stolen bases. Stolen base by 80 Rickey, stolen base by 85 Rickey, and Mike Bordick getting one. This time 91, Jack Morris came in, threw 2 clean innings, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. No save, though. Not a save opportunity. All right, NL's on a travel day. Tampa Bay wins 6-0 on a 1-hit shutout, tying the series at 1. McClanahan started that one, gave up the hit, no earned, 1 walk, and 12 strikeouts. Who else combined for this one hitter? Fairbanks, 1 1/3 for the hold, 3 strikeouts, and Kelly, 2/3, 1 strikeout. It's a heck of a team pitching performance there. All right, AL and NL are going to switch spots now. New York up 2-0. And they win again 6-3, including 2 runs in the top of the ninth. Home runs by Steinbach, McGuire, 1990 Rickey, and how many stolen bases? Stolen bases by 85 Rickey, 1990 Rickey, and another by Carney Lansford. All right. Both leagues in action now. Rays Mariners looking to break that 1-1 series tie. And the Rays win a squeaker 3-2. Despite giving up a run in the bottom of the ninth, they pull it out, taking a 2-1 series lead. And in the NL, it's the 87 Jimmy Key against Dustin May. The New York Rickeys looking for the sweep here. Oh, the first loss of the postseason. They lose 10-6. Let's see. 2 steals by 1980 Rickey, and Willie Randolph gets another. Jimmy Key chased early, giving up 8 earned runs and 4 1/3. Man, he got clobbered. And then Charlie Huff didn't help much. He gave up 2 earned and 2 1/3. All right. Tampa looking to extend their 2-1 series lead over the Mariners. And they do, winning 4-2. And the Mets looking to close out the Dodgers. Couldn't do it. Couldn't get the sweep. Let's see if they can close them out here. And they do. Headed to the World Series. 1983 Dave Steve is the player of the game. Gets the win. 6 1/3, 3 hits and 3 walks. 1 earned and 6 strikeouts. 2 performances of the day by the batters. 1989 Rickey goes 3 for 6 with 2 doubles, 3 RBI, and 2 runs scored. And Terry Steinbach goes 2 for 4 with 3 RBI. Let's see what kind of stealing we did. 85 Rickey gets one, 90 Rickey gets one, and 89 Rickey steals 2, but also caught stealing. 1980 Rickey and 1990 Rickey. We haven't seen caught stealings in a while. They continue to be efficient. This was a bad game for them. But we do advance to the World Series. Let's watch what happens in the AL. Tampa Bay looking to close out the series here. But the Mariners force a game 6, winning 5-3, scoring 2 in the bottom of the 8th to win it. Should be a travel day. And game 6 in Tampa. Tampa does close it out at home, walking it off in the bottom of the 10th, winning 3-2. Could you imagine a walk-off in the 10th at home to advance to the World Series? That must have been awesome. How'd they score that walk-off? Oh, we don't get a game log because it's not a human-managed team. Bummer, 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 bummer. Can we tell from the box score what happened? No, I don't think it does. All right, so it'll be oops. It'll be the Rays winning 4-2, advancing to play the Mets, who won 4-1. All right, here we go. Frank Tanana on the mound. We're able to reset our rotation. 0.59 postseason ERA. And we win 5-0. 3-hit shutout. Tanana goes the distance. No walks, 3 hits, 4 strikeouts. 1990, Rickey with a performance today, 3 for 4, a double, a home run, and 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Let's check on the stolen bases. 85, Rickey gets a steal, and 1990, Rickey gets a steal. No caught stealing. Game 2 also goes to the Rickeys, 5-3. Dave Steeb, 84, player of the game, goes 8 innings, 12 strikeouts. 85, Rickey with a steal. 89, Rickey with a steal. Lansford and Bordick also get stolen bases. It does seem to be contagious, this stealing. All right, should be a travel day. Back in action now in Tampa. Another win. The Rickeys win 10-5, including 2 in the top of the 8th. Stolen bases by 1980 Rickey and 1990 Rickey. 93 Jimmy Key continues to be undefeated in the postseason, despite having a bit of an inflated ERA from this game. 5 1/3, 5 earned runs. All right, the New York Rickeys looking to sweep the world, sweep the World Series here. 1987 Jimmy Key. He's been roughed up. He's postseason Kershaw like so far. 0-1 with a 16.62 ERA. And we win the World Series, sweeping it. Yes. 7-0. 2-hit shutout. Jimmy Key goes 7 2/3, 1 hit, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. 1980, Rickey goes 2 for 4 with a home run and RBI, 2 runs scored. Congratulations, Rickey and Rickey and Rickey and Rickey and Rickey and Rickey. No caught stealings. Wow, they really finished out in style. 1980, Rickey steals 2. 1990, Rickey gets a stolen base. 1989, Rickey steals 3. And then Bordick and Randolph also pitch in steals. All right. Finish the World Series. The sweep The Rickeys sweep the World Series, collecting tons of stolen bases on the way. All right, let's save this and do our postseason awards, and we can give away packs. All right, Great Glove Awards, a 1594 game score, very nice. All right, let's see what's going on here. I don't think we won any Great Glove Awards. We didn't get an announcement there. Yep, no Rickeys there. All right, reliever of the year. Do we have a candidate? We added Dave Steve with 41 saves. This 2.19 ERA, it sounds low, but historically, that's probably a little too high to win this award. We might get some votes though. All right, Devin Williams, who often wins this award, almost sweeps it. 29 first place votes. Yeah, remember what I said about the 2.19 ERA in the pen? Devin Williams 4-2, 39 saves, 0.64 ERA. That's what it takes to win this award in this sim. All right, next up, Platinum Stick Awards. I think we've got a shot at least four, probably more than that. 6 times we achieved that award. Oh, including Terry Steinbach, a catcher. Very nice. All right, we've got catcher Terry Steinbach, Mark McGwire at first base, of course, with 69 home runs. Willie Randolph at second. Left fielder, 1985, Rickey Henderson. Center fielder, 1990, Rickey Henderson. And DH, 1989, Rickey Henderson. Right field, Rickey continues to get snubbed. Let's see what happened there. Right field, Rickey is. How come we have multiple left field Rickeys? 1980 Rickey, 97 steals, 270 average. Huh. Yeah, Ryan McMahon, 273, 36 home runs. I don't know. That doesn't seem too high. Arenado, who? Check out Acuna Jr., though. 342, 38 bombs, 75 steals. That's quite a season. But here's 85 Rickey. He went 3100 club. And 1990 Rickey also went 3100 club. 85 Rickey almost started the 4100 club. All right, next up, Rookie of the Year. We don't have anyone eligible. Cy Young Award. Who's our top candidate here? This is one of the questions for the pack giveaway. Tanana's 23-1 with a 3.08 ERA, 233 strikeouts. Jimmy Key from 87, 26-1, 2.88 ERA. He might be the front runner. This Steve's kind of a non-starter. This Jimmy Key is 22-1 with a 3.06, and the 83 Steve is 21-4 with a 3.58. We have two one-loss pitchers here. Well, three with over 20 wins. I think it's the 87 Key over the 77 Tanana. And it's the Tanana who wins it. 23-1. The AI does like its strikeouts. That might have helped him push him over the top there. Tanana and the 87 Key. Oh, look at this. 3 points separate them. 15 first place votes versus one first place vote. I'd be curious to see where this one other first place vote would have gone if not for Marcus Stroman. But 3 voting points separate the two. Wow. What Cy Young race there. Okay, next up is the MVP. I mean, McGuire's a candidate for sure with his 69 home runs. Very nice total. But when you go to WAR and you look at OPS, this 85 Rickey seems way ahead of everyone else. 38 bombs, 313 average, 1039 OPS, 102 steals against only 20 caught stealing. I'm going 85 Rickey, but we'll see what happens. 85 Rickey wins it. 85 Rickey gets 21 first place votes versus 940. It's McGuire who comes in second. 1990 Rickey comes in fourth. Actually tied for third with Freddie Freeman. 1980 Willie Randolph also gets some votes. But congratulations on 85 Rickey winning the MVP. All right, I think we have the information we need for the pack giveaway now. Let me unhide the usernames and resize some columns, and we'll give away some packs. By the way, I guess I should have mentioned this earlier in the stream when maybe more people were around, but I do intend to stream an extended stream over the holidays. My wife and mother-in-law are planning to take the girls on a little mini vacation during my mother-in-law's visit. So if it happens around the time I'm thinking, there's a Friday where I don't think Ezra's streaming. I could take the raid from Dr. Dynastic and go straight from 4 p.m. all the way to 1 a.m. I've got the okay from OOTP Developments to give away packs for pack ripping sessions. You can do a bunch of those. We can do some extra games and simulations, do 10 pack giveaways for each of those. And I've gotten approved for special franchise time machine drops that day. But turns out they're a pain in the butt for Nicolino to implement. So I've offered to Nicolino, hey, maybe we can just give away more packs then if you'd rather not do the drops. I'd rather have the drops because everyone benefits. But I'm going to talk it over with Nicolino. If it's not um, too difficult for him to do, I might ask him to go ahead and do it. I think it'd be nice for everybody to be able to get that. All right, so let's look at our guesses. 9 people in the competition today. Love to see that. All right, will this team make the playoffs? Yes, we did. Now, I'm not going to filter. I'm going to keep everyone because I want to see everyone's guesses for the numericals. Will this team make it to the World Series? Yes, we did. So, unfortunately, that knocks out Everstuff, Flying WV, and Fox Hill. Sorry, you guys got eliminated on that one. Will this team win the World Series? Yes, we did. We swept it. That knocks out Go Canucks. So we are down to 5. Will a Rickey win an MVP award? It was Rickey. He beat out McGuire, 21 first place votes to 9. So Rickey did win the MVP. Oh, all of our remaining people guessed that right. Nice work. Will a pitcher for this team win the Cy Young Award? Yes, they did. Oh, that knocks out Jeff the Jar and Clay Dog. Why is it not highlighting? There we go. Okay. That leaves Kitty Poo Poo, Monterdon, and Enron 1408. All right, now we got to, how many games will this team win? I will let you know No one really came close to this total. 135 is the total. The closest is Enron with 120. Congratulations, Enron 1408. You have won the 7 packs. Now we go to the next question to get the second place. All right, the next question was, what is the highest WAR generated by this team's players? Okay, we'll start with pitcher WAR. That's always lower. Highest pitcher WAR was 6 by Frank Tanana, our Cy Young winner. The highest batter WAR, 11.1 by the MVP 1985 Rickey Henderson. So the answer is 11.1. Monterdon with an 11 guess almost nails it exactly. Nice work, Monterdon. Someone we see all the time in daytime streams. Very cool to see Monterdon participating in our late night stream. Happy to give someone new some packs. Now, unfortunately, Kitty Poo Poo guessed a little too low on the WAR there. Very close to the pitcher WAR, but the offensive WAR was much higher. All right, number of regular season stolen bases by the Rickey who steals the most. That was 102. Wow, only one person guessed over 100. Fade away, but Everest Everest stuff was closest, 5 away with 97. Very nice guess. Next up was what's the number of regular season home runs hit by the Rickey who hits the most home runs? That was, I believe, 38. Yes, it was 38 by the MVP winning Rickey Henderson. Let's see. 4 away is Flying WV. 4 away is Enron. 4 away is Clay Dogs. The 42 guesses, right? Very close. Four home runs away by 3 of you. Regular season strikeouts thrown by the pitcher who leads this team in strikeouts. That was Frank Tanana, and he threw 273. Jeff the Jar, very close to 267, but Flying WE with 269, a very nice number. Only 4 away. Flying WE gets that one right. Flying WE had the last two numericals right. Next up, regular season OPS leader. And that was not our MVP, but Mark McGuire with a 1092. 1092. Enron, very close, is the closest. And the final question, what is going to be the ERA of the pitcher who leads this team in ERA? The answer for that is 100 innings pitched. So not the Dave Steve in the bullpen, but the Jimmy Key from 1987, 2.88. Jeff the Jar with a 2.75, very close. All right, well, that was fun for me. I hope you all had fun. Enron takes first place and wins the 7 packs, and Montodon second place, winning 3 packs. Oh, it was so cool seeing Rickey Henderson's doing Rickey Henderson things. I'm very pleased with that. I hope Rickey would have been pleased to see that too. Uh, but if anything, it's really nice to be reminded of what kind of career he had. And just talking about the anecdotes about him, what kind of spirit he brought to the game. Um, awesome player, awesome personality. Frankly, baseball wouldn't have been the same without him. So, and you can't say that about a ton of players. All right, let's see what is going on out there for places to raid. Midnight Sumo is on. Do they have a live sumo tournament right now? It is a replay. What about Chance Gerard, you're very welcome. Thank you for being here. I hope you had fun. Anything Rickey is always fun to me, but you know what? It is kind of our tradition. But you know what I'm going to do tonight? I'm going to send us into baffle race into this guy. Uh, Josh, he plays a variety of games. Tonight he's playing Rocket League. Super nice guy. I think it might be a little more fun than a sumo repeat. We'll raid into the midnight sumo game when there's live sumo tournaments going on. Let's go raid into Jusha. Three O's. Three O's. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody. Thanks for being here. Enron, you'll get those packs in a couple days at the latest. Oh, it is the weekend, so it might not be till Monday or Tuesday. But congratulations on the guesses. Great job. Hopefully, we'll see you again in the stream. And everybody, thank you so much. And thank you to MaxLP80. Happy birthday, and thank you for the raid to MaxLP80 for getting us off to such a big start. All right. Well, hope you had a good PTMS day, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow. I'm streaming again at 10 p.m.
Why do you keep following me around?